Okay, good evening, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me know if you guys can hear my audio and see my screen in the chat box. Just give me a little Y or yes there. Just to let me know that it is indeed working. Hope everybody's having a fantastic evening so far. Looking forward to trading with you guys this evening and going over EAs and copy traders. I'm really excited. This is one of my favorite webinars to do each month. We do this once a month, every second Wednesday. And we've got a lot of really cool EAs and copy traders that I found just in the last couple of weeks. I put together a list or metrics that you can use, just a list of things that you should look for when you're evaluating a EA or copy trader. If you're thinking about buying one, using some kind of trading algorithm, you might want to consider some of the things that I consider before I jump into one. So I've put that together. I'll show it to you guys. I'll share it with you if you'd like. Um, we're going to get to that part, but I put that together before the webinar. I think you guys will really like that. And yeah, so what we'll do today is we'll first talk about what EAs and copy traders are, the technology, the uses of it, who they're for, all that kind of good stuff. And then what we'll do after is we'll jump into the specifics of how I evaluate them. And that's when I'll share that little metrics I put together. And then the last thing is we'll actually dive into different EAs and copy traders that we've got that I've been using and I'll show you how I've evaluated them and how I've determined whether or not to invest, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm excited. It should be a really good webinar. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So let's jump into this. Before we get started, as always, I need to remind you guys about the risks involved in this market. You can lose all or more than your initial investment if you're not careful. So please be aware of how many pips you're risking on each trade, in addition to how big your lot size is and ultimately how that would affect your account if you were to lose money. So make sure that you're going through that process each and every time that you take a trade. All right, guys, well, let's jump into this. So first of all, I want to talk about what EAs and copy traders are in general. So I actually have a slide right here. Yeah, in fact, let's use this slide right here to kind of talk about what a copy trader is. So you guys can read this if you want. I'm just going to kind of summarize it. So a copy trader is a technology that allows, there's two different types of copy traders, but it allows a trader to basically either copy somebody else's trades, who's a successful trader, into their own account, or it allows them to copy trades from one of their own accounts into other accounts that they also have. Okay, so that is the general concept of copy trader. Now, why would somebody want to use a copy trader? So what happens is as you grow in your trading, as you become a more successful trader, if you have multiple accounts and you want to trade those accounts in unison, but you don't want to log into, two, three or four, five, six different accounts each day, you can just trade one account. You can designate what's called a master account, and all the other accounts you have can be called what that we call them slave accounts. And those slave accounts will take the same trades that the master account takes, which is really, really cool. So that's one use of a copy trader. This was really common when this was even more common when um, before when MT4 was the preferred trading platform for most prop firms. Uh, this was extremely common. I was doing the same thing. I was using my own copy trader to copy trade most of my accounts. Now I'm kind of in a pickle that way because DX Trade, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, does not offer copy trading and trade locker and so on. So you have to kind of log into all your different accounts. So it's a little bit more difficult that way, but it's an adjustment. Now, if you have your own accounts with your own MT4 and you just have multiple MT4 accounts, that's easy because that's MT4 is the software that's pretty common to use for copy trading. Okay, so that's one side of copy trading. Another use is, let's say somebody comes along and they have a really good trading system. This could be they trade manually, or this could be somebody who trades um, through an algorithm that they've built or put together. And you can copy that person's trades directly from their account. What's cool about the copy trader, in my opinion, that makes this so different is copy trading technology is the ability to copy somebody else's trades who's already proven to be successful, but but you have access to your funds the entire time. So you go fund your own account with your own money. You have complete access to your funds. Nobody else has access to them besides you, but you're just allowing trading privileges to the copy trader or the subsequent copy trader. So you're allowing somebody else access to the ability to trade the account and to take trades. So you are taking a risk that way. But the entire time, it's not like you have to go and wire money to your best friend or, because, I've been involved in things like that. Some things have worked out and some things not. And, those are the type of transactions I try to stay away from. I've had people solicit, I get people who solicit my money probably every day, but and a lot of the times it's like, hey, try this stock thing out or try this this other thing out and wire me the money so I can take care of it. And I really don't like those kinds of things. As you guys could probably imagine, you've probably been solicited by that kind of stuff before as well. So that's what I love so much about the copy trading is you have complete control. Like if you decide you don't want to use the copy trader anymore, you could turn it off as soon as you want to. You don't have to call anybody. You don't have to text anybody that you turned it off. You can just turn it off whenever you want. Um, or if you want to deposit more because you like one copy trader over another and you have a lot more trust in it, you could deposit more money into that one. But it's not like, again, it's not like you're depositing money like Paul says here to the Nigerian prince. I love that. No, it's not like you're giving the Nigerian prince money. You're just moving the money around in your own broker account. Like you're the one who decides how that gets administered, which is really, really cool. And so to me, this is like one of the coolest. I mean, it's the same thing that you would do. Like, let's say you have a broker account and you buy stocks or something. You decide you want to buy Tesla, and then you're like, yeah, I don't want Tesla anymore. I'd like to buy Apple instead because I think Apple's going to do better than Tesla. Then you could make that call. You could just move that money around because that's basically so you're just a manager of copy traders. You're a manager of different investment styles and you're the person at the head of that, which is really, really cool. So that's what I love. That's why I love copy trading. So it makes it really, really simple. So I've really dove into this a lot, as you guys know, over the last many months, and I've pretty much built another income, like a full-blown salary just from copy trading, which that's why I love talking about this because it's a chance for me to kind of highlight what I've done with it. And I'm not a programmer yet, so I mean, I know how to do some programming. Someday I'd love to be able to create my own algorithm that probably uses the COT report, that could actually take these trades for you. I'd love to do that. I'm sure that day's coming, but I have to continue to educate myself on how to do it. I've actually built a few Forex robots and algorithms um, through ChatGPT. ChatGPT you can actually tell ChatGPT what you want, and ChatGPT will actually write the code for you that you can plug into MT4, just into the source code scripts. So I've done that a few times. It takes some work, and you have to kind of like have the chat GPT write the code and then you have to set, and then it will have bugs with it. It won't work quite right. And then you have to send it back to chat GPT and then it'll rewrite it in about 10 seconds and then it'll send it back and then you'll try it again. You'll get it to work this time better. Okay. And then you want to change something, then you send it back again. I've had to do that probably hundreds of times. So it's kind of that's a huge rabbit hole. And I don't want you to waste your time doing that, but just letting you know that that is something you can do because there's AIs that can now write your code for you. You don't have to necessarily learn code. Thing is, I kind of want to learn anyways because I want to be able to diagnose things on my own rather than just having a artificial intelligence tell me what's going on. You, I teach programming. I should look into this. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely look into ChatGPT because ChatGPT can also write indicators for TradingView. So you can build your own indicators that go right into the trading view on their site. And it's called Pine Script. So that's you just ask ChatGPT, can you write me a Pine Script trading indicator on TradingView? And ChatGPT will be like, "Yep, I can do that." And then you just tell it what you want. Like, "Hey, write me an indicator that does this or this, and when this happens, it does this." Right? So again, it's a huge rabbit hole, but it is kind of cool. You can do that. All right. Um, so that's what an AI is, Lee. AI is just artificial intelligence. So ChatGPT is a pretty common artificial intelligence that I'd say that's probably the most it's most this most people have used ChatGPT. So if you ever want to use an AI just for fun, just go to ChatGPT. I think it's just chatgpt.com. You just search it on Google and you can ask the AI anything you want. You can ask it, like I've in fact a lot of the stuff on our site was written by an AI. I've had a lot of email campaigns written by AI. It's pretty cool. And turns out it can write 4X robots, which is also pretty cool. Um, let's see. My own son asked me to trade his money and I declined. Yeah. No, that's good. No, there's I often just refer people when people want me to manage money, I just say, like I don't do that. It's just not in my policy to do that. It's not the business I really got. I decided maybe I'll get into it later. I just need to decide how I want to get into it. If I get into it, I kind of decided against it for the time being. But I like using these bots, and so that's what you guys are here for, is I'm going to show you guys how I find different bots and what my criteria is when I search for different ones. Um, yep, we're going to get to that in just a second. Mohammed, we're going to get to those bots. That's very cool. Jason says, which platform do you prefer the most? MQL5, Signal Start, or another? I like Signal Start. It's easiest for me to analyze. So Signal Start has about 1,300 copy traders and bots you can choose from, which is a lot, but it's also not a ton. MQL5 has like 5,000 you can choose from, but a lot of the bots on MQL5 are just zombie bots anyway, meaning that they're no longer useful or they're no longer active. So even though they have like 5,000 you can choose from, they don't even do anything. So, but we're going to look at both today. So we're going to go Signal Start and MQL. I probably prefer Signal Start. It's a little bit more expensive from what I've discovered, but I like the metrics there on Signal Start to find bots and different copy traders that work. So that's where I've gone. Yes, we'll get this lingo down. He says, Mama says, you guys are speaking a different language now, LO, but it's very interesting. Yes, we'll kind of break it down. So basically, and let's break it down right here. So when you're using a copy trader, so we've kind of explained what a copy trader is. You have to go to a place that offers this. Okay, so this is a technology that's offered by different companies. If you want to follow other people's trades and you don't want to do the trading yourself, but you just want to follow somebody else's trades, you have to go to a site like mql5.com or signalstart.com to do this. Okay. The If you want to have a place that can copy trade all your accounts, but you're the one trading it, Social Trading Tools is a pretty good place. That's the one I've used for my own trading. That's if you're just going to copy trade your own accounts, right? So that's what I've done there. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about. Okay, so let me put this. I want to show you guys this. Now that we kind of know what a copy trader is, and we've kind of gone over different places you can go to get copy trading done for you. I put this together before the webinar. I wanted to show you guys this. I put this is like just some questions you should ask yourself, and some just tips and tricks that you should ask yourself before you determine which copy trader to go with, because some copy traders can be misleading. So before you decide which one you want to go with, every copy trader can give you information or historicity of like how it's performed over time, like what their gain is, how big their drawdown is, what their biggest trade was, what their smallest trade was, their average win, their average loss. These are all things you want to look into before you actually dive into a copy trader. Um, okay, so there's a lot of different things you want to look at, but these are some of the most basic things. So I'm going to cover 7 different things here that are really important, but I wouldn't stop there. I'm just going to show you these are some of the most important things, in my opinion, that you want to look at when you're evaluating a copy trader. So what I do is first of all, I want to know how long they've been around, because somebody can basically get online and they can start a copy trader and offer it to people. But if they've only been doing it for a week or 2 weeks or a month or a few months, even if they've had positive results, who knows how they're going to perform in, 2 months from now or a month later or whatever, because they've only been around for a month or two. So I I don't care if they match everything else on my metrics if they've only been around for just a couple of months. My criteria is a year. I want to see somebody around for about a year or more. Ideally, if you can find a copy trader that's been around for 2 years, to me, that's kind of the sweet spot, because they've been through the ups and downs of the market throughout a year. They've been through the holidays. They've been through news events, and so if they continue to perform well past a year or two, to me, that's good enough to maybe say, okay, let's move on to the next step. Okay, the next thing I look at is what was their biggest drawdown during that period. So I usually only use bots or copy traders that have less than a 20% drawdown. Okay, there's a reason for this. Basically, if a bot's going to lose more than 20% of my money, um, to me, I can recover from that. But if a bot is going to lose 50% or 60, 70, you're basically bust at that point. Your leverage is chewed up. There's nothing, your margin's gone. You pretty much blew the account at that point. So I'll let things go against me up to 20% is my max. And then anything past that, I'd say it's probably not worth my time, and also money. Okay, so I try to keep it less than 20. That's my personal preference. You can do what you want to do, but the other thing too is I was going to say, if a copy trader were to lose me 20%, I usually just stop the copy trader, and I don't usually continue with it. I'll move on to something else. So the idea is, if you can make enough money, if you can make enough money with it over time that, if it pulls back 20%, it's okay. You're just playing with house money. That's good. You basically want to get to a house money position with any robot or copy trader that you use, because they always have the potential to pull back, and they always will. No matter how good somebody trades, there's always going to be pullbacks. That's with any strategy.
Hey traders, it's Steve from the future. I hope you have enjoyed this video so far. If you are getting value out of this video, be sure to hit the like button, click the subscribe button, and share your trading thoughts. I read all the comments, so feel free to ask any questions you have there too. On a side note, I host live trading calls like this one you are watching every day. Some of my biggest trading secrets I share exclusively to just the members in my program. I host these live trading calls every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I also host a basic training webinar every Monday for the newer traders, and the regular COT report and sentiment trading webinars every Wednesday night at 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern for the advanced and aspiring traders. All of these calls are recorded and promptly posted on the members' trading calendars at the conclusion of each call, in case your schedule does not permit you to come to the live call. All of my members have complete access to the scanner. We call it Steve Scanner. This is an institutional grade trade alert scanner that picks the direction of the week on all 28 major currency pairs, and includes trading instruments like gold, silver, NAS 100, US 30. Just in the last 90 days, I have made over 3,000 pips just taking the top trade signals from the scanner at the beginning of the week, and then just holding those trade alerts until Friday. If you want access to the scanner, you can start a 14-day free trial with the join link in the description to get started. Lastly, if you really want to be a full-fledged VIP member of my program to get access to things like the basic training course, live signals channel, Steve's scanner, trading calendars, and the one-on-one calls with me throughout the month, you can use code YouTube50, that's YouTube50, no spaces at checkout, and save $50 on your first month. Again, just click the link in the description below and apply that coupon to become a VIP member, and I look forward to helping you with your inevitable trading success going forward. Now, back to the video.
Okay. I usually want to see copy traders that have made at least a 50% gain in a year at minimum, which may seem like a lot of money. 50% in a year is a lot, but I do that on purpose because, again, I need to get to a house money position as fast as possible. So if they're making significant gains, like if I can get to a house money position in a few months and I've already taken some withdrawals off that account and I've swept it each month, then I'm in a really good spot if the robot or the copy trader starts to underperform or even lose money. So that's the whole idea, is to get to a house money position as fast as possible so that if it ever does pull back, past a 20% loss, and you're done with the copy trader, you're good. Um, and oh, this is a huge thing that a lot of people don't look at. And sometimes it's hard to see where this information is. I'm going to show you in both places where you can find this, but you need to make sure that you're using a bot with a significant amount of money. And I don't know what that number is for you. For me, here's my general rule of thumb. If I'm going to copy trade from somebody, I need to see that they're trading a similar account to what I'm going to be trading. So whenever I start or open up a new copy trader, I put $5,000 to $10,000 minimum on each one. I'll go up to $20,000 in an account, but I'll never go over $20,000. If there's just so many different places to invest your money that I'd rather spread out the risk across different copy traders rather than just putting more in one basket. So 5 to 20,000 is what I invest per copy trader. Um, and yeah, so I need to make sure that 5,000 is a minimum. If I see somebody trading less than $5,000, I probably won't be copying from them. Some of these copy traders we're going to look at have hundreds of thousands of dollars, and to me, that actually might be one of the most important metrics. Here's why. Because if you can see that the person you're copying trades from is investing 100,000, 200, 300, $400,000 of their own money on their own bot that they've put together, you don't invest that kind of money unless you know that it's going to work. Okay? So I don't even need to ask guys, like, "Hey, tell me about how your bot works." If they've put $250,000 behind their bot. Well, because money talks, right? Like you don't put $250,000 down on something unless you believe it's going to work, right? So that's a huge thing to me, is making sure that they have that. If they're on the lower end of that, like if they only have 5,000 or $10,000 invested, I'll still invest a lot of the times, but I need to scrutinize other metrics a little bit more, and I won't be as forgiving with the other variables if there's another hiccup along the way. So if I can see that they are indeed using a lot of money of their own, I'll excuse other things like drawdowns to some degree, or if their gains aren't as good as I'd like them, sometimes I'll be okay with that just because of the security of knowing that they're investing a lot of their own funds. So all right. And then the other thing I look for, you can check this out too, is if they have funds under management. I don't think you can check this on Signal Start, unfortunately, but you can check this on MQL5. So you can see not only how much money they're trading on their own account, but you can also see how much other people are trading. The other day, I found a copy trader on MQL5 where this person only had like $1,000 or $2,000 under management. No, not under management. This is how much they were trading. So the account itself, the master account, was $1,000 or $2,000. And then get this, the the funds under management was like $1.4 million dollars, and it was only a $2,000 account. So that's upside down, right? I'd be a lot more forgiving if it was like, okay, they've got 25,000 minimum or 50,000, and they've got like 1.4 million under management, and they're just really good with managing their 50 grand. Okay, I could see that. But to only have $1,000 or $2,000 invested of the master account and $1.4 million, under management, that's just insane. That's absurd. I would be very concerned. Um, yes, you're gonna love it. Yes, exactly. Yep. Yeah, that's backwards, 100%. So in fact, we'll find it. I think I've got it somewhere on MQL. That'll be fun to see so you guys can see that. We got to move along here because this class I love so much, but I take time because I love it. So let's continue on here. So the other number 6 here, this is important. This is something that I ran into kind of by accident, because I didn't know that I needed to do this when I started copy trading other people's robots in their own accounts. Is you need to see how much leverage an account is using. This is something that you have to kind of dig for when you're looking at and scrutinizing somebody's copy trader. So basically, sometimes traders will try to get out of bad trades. And if they have bad trades going, which everybody does, right? A lot of copy traders will try to fix them. And everybody's method or concept of fixing a bad trade is different. And I'm okay with that. But often it requires some kind of like martingale technique where they kind of uh, bet a little harder, or they'll put more money down on each trade to try to fix a bad trade. Okay, that's called martingale or grid system. And so that's okay as long as it's controlled and I can see that they've controlled it. If they're not in control, we'll find that out pretty quickly. And the way you can detect if they're not in control is if you go back into their order history when you're evaluating a copy trader, and you can see what was their biggest trade they ever took over the last 1 or 2 years. And so if you can see that their biggest trade was like many, 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 many times bigger than their their smallest trade, then you can kind of tell that they probably take a lot of risks to fix bad trades. Um, Now here's the thing though. If you stay true to that, in my opinion, this is just me talking here. If you stay true to that 20% drawdown or less, this usually does not become a huge issue because they've done a very good job at managing risk in the first place, that they've probably have not needed to use a lot of leverage. This is usually a problem for copy traders that have drawdowns that are much higher than that. So I've seen some copy traders that have 40, 50, 60, 70% drawdowns before they recover, which is insane because that's you're flirting with bust when you get down to those kinds of drawdowns. And those are the types of ones where they were going to die, they were going to become a zombie copy trader, but they somehow um, won in the end. And it's usually because their leverage was able to bail them out, and they continued to fire along. That's why we have a pretty strict drawdown rule when I evaluate copy traders. So this doesn't become an issue as often, but it is something you do want to look into. I discovered this on accident. Like I had an issue with a bot in the past, like 6, 7, 8 months ago, where it started to take some bad trades, and it needed a lot of leverage to fix the trade, and I had my multiplier too high, and I had to actually take a loss on those because I didn't have enough margin to be able to continue with what the bot was requiring. Okay. So, but again, this usually is not a big issue so long as your drawdown is tight your requirement on your drawdown is tight. Okay, lastly is the cost. So copy traders do cost money. Most of them cost anywhere between $30 and $100, 150, $200 a month is kind of the standard. But I don't usually see them cheaper than $30. So you're going to have to pay a little bit to get access to this technology. Okay, so there's that. Let me show you guys the two different places you can go. So I've got them pulled up here. Here it is. So this is signalstart.com. Here's the link. I'm going to give you guys this link in the chat box. Here it is. And then here's the link to MQL5. Okay, we're going to look at both of these real quick. And I'm going to show you how to evaluate different trading systems and styles. So let's start with Signal Start. This is probably my favorite place to look for different copy traders. And I check this regularly, probably once a month or twice a month to see if there's new copy traders out there. This is one of my favorite things to do is to evaluate, who do I invest my money with, right? By the way, I usually start a new copy trader once. At this point, I do one per month. I have 10 different accounts that have anywhere between $5,000 and $20,000 in each one, and they all copy trade for me. And so right now, the dividends that I'm earning from these copy traders are enough money to start a new copy trader every month. So I'm making anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a month, sometimes more, between all the different accounts. And so I'm getting enough dividends to start a new one every single month, which is really cool. And I do like to spread it out. I've already talked about why I like to spread it out, but it's important to me to kind of spread the money around rather than just having it all in one copy trader because these are higher risk, right? Like you're getting huge returns off of these. And so you do want to make sure that you're spreading the money around, that you're putting in those, that you're doing your due diligence before you jump into these. Okay. Awesome. So what I do is I look for usually a 50% gain, at least. It's what I want to see. I'm looking for drawdowns that are less than 20%, and I'm looking for something that's at least a year old, okay, or more. And that's it. That's all I search for. I don't really put anything else in. You can put in more stuff, but that's what I do in the initial search is just those three things. And then that's going to give me the different results. Actually, before I do this, if I actually just go back here, let's turn these off. Search. If I turn off all the metrics, you'll see there's about 1,253 different copy traders to select from. So there's a lot. There's definitely a lot of different places you can park your money. But when you run these filters that I just ran, so 50 for the return, drawdown less than 20%, and anything that's been around for at least a year, watch this go from almost 1,300 bots or copy traders down to now I only have 55 options. Okay, so definitely scrutinize. I mean, that already is a huge filter alone, right? Okay, so now let's kind of jump into these. So you can you can filter this from here. Like now that we've got 57 that meet or 55 that meet that criteria, if it's really important to you, the age, you could filter this by the oldest thing. Okay, so you can be like, okay, the oldest one in here is 6 years and 8 months old. Okay, so that's how long this one's been around. This one's also 6 years and 8 months, 6 years and 5 months. The newest one would be probably just a year, right? Okay, this is a year and 14 days old right here. This one's a year and a month, right? So there's a lot more newer ones, of course. Um, okay, you could also filter by drawdown. You could say, okay, I want the one with the lowest drawdown. Okay, so here's this one at 7%. You could also filter by the one that has the biggest gain, right? You could click this and that's the percent gain. So this one has a huge percent gain, 11,000% over 5 years. That's crazy. I wonder what they're doing to get that kind of return. Okay, so and then this one has, I'm not sure that's an interesting, we'll have to look into that. This one has a 1,400% return over 4 years and 3 months. So some of these have insane returns, like they really do. Um, and you can look at this one has negative tips though. So that kind of tells me that this one's a high frequency bot. So it probably, what that probably means, just so you know, um, if it has negative pips but such a high return, that probably means they take huge lot sizes. Like when they take trades, their trades are huge. That's probably what that means. Um, and then they're in and out quickly. So they probably have some kind of high frequency entry that gets you into a trade. They make 2 or 3 pips on the trade or 1 pip on the trade, and then they're out. But they must take some pretty big lot sizes to make the money. That's a possibility, but that's what I've seen. If you see those negative pips there, it's probably a high frequency bot, which I don't really like. I don't like high frequency bots that much because they're so reliant on high leverage, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I try to stay away from those ones. As you can see, I've got my watch list on here. I've highlighted the ones I like. Um, so I've already, I can show you a few that I really like here. Um, let's actually jump into um, let me show you like this one right here. So I like this one. This is Pine Rock High Risk. These guys I've been using um probably I don't know how long it's been, but I actually broke one of my rules on this one. I started using these guys many months ago, and they didn't even have a year. But the reason why I broke that rule, and this is why I want to show you guys this, is when you come in here to see the profile, you can actually see a lot of information. But one of the things I like about these guys is they have $304,000 in their account balance. Okay, so they have a lot of money invested. So they obviously believe in what they're doing. And so I took a little bit of a chance on these guys a little bit earlier because I saw how much money they were investing. And I was like, okay, yeah, these guys obviously are pretty good. So they tell you a little bit about themselves so they can tell you where they rank out of the 1,200, copy traders. They rank 319. It is a real account. Only invest with copy traders that are real accounts, which I believe all of these are. But double check that. If it says demo, don't touch it. It's got to be a real account. I only want to invest in people that will risk their own money. Um, check to see what currency they're trading in. Usually it's going to be USD. But if it happens to be like yen, that's okay. That doesn't necessarily a deal breaker, but 100,000 yen is way different than $100,000. Okay. Dollars are a big deal. Okay. Tells you what broker they're on. These guys are with Awanda. They have 50-to-1 leverage. They're using MetaTrader 4 and they cost $30 a month. So, anyway, that just tells you some more information about these guys. When you scroll down, it'll have these big things down here. It'll be like, okay, this is how much money they've made. This is their biggest drawdown, and this is their this is their percent gain over here on the left, and then on the right, this is how much money they've actually made. So they made $188,000 since the inception of this copy trader, which was about a year ago. So they made $188,000 in a year, which is great. That's fantastic. And they did it with basically 300K, which is great. It tells you other information like how many trades they've taken in the year, about 1,800 trades. They've made about 7,400 pips. Their win percentage is 70%. Um, this is how many withdrawals they've made. Let's see, lot sizes total that they've taken. Expectancy is what you would expect to make per trade. So this guy, he makes about 4 pips per trade. So it's a scalping bot for sure. And he averages about $90.16 per trade, whether it's a win. Expectancy looks at all your trades. So it's the number of trades or the total profit divided by the number of trades is your expectancy. Um, Oh, and then this shows you what symbols they're using. So this guy's using only 4x pairs, at least in May, it's only been 4x pairs. This is kind of cool over here. It shows you what their percent gain has been each month. So in May, he's actually slightly down generally. Um, yeah, from all the trades they've taken, slightly down. April is positive. And then, yeah, every month was positive. December was slightly down, but you can kind of see where their best and worst months are. August was amazing, apparently. Sheesh. These are their open trades. So you can kind of see what they've got going on here. Um, uh, This guy's got 17 trades open right now, and these are their lot sizes, how much they're up or down, and so on. Here's their history. So here's all the trades from the past. You can search by date. You can search by lot size. Oh, that's the thing I wanted to show you. So when you're evaluating a copy trader, I like to filter by their lot size. And so the biggest lot size this guy's ever taken was a 10.0 contract on the USD JPY, and that was back on the 24th of last month, actually. So that was actually pretty recently. So pretty big trade on USD JPY. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you would have to take a trade of 10 contracts. It's just that relative to the account size that this guy's trading, he would have traded 10 contracts. So, like if I were to have taken this trade, since my account would be about 30 times smaller, then I would take that lot size and divide it by 30. And you'd have to ask yourself, is that a lot size that my account could handle, assuming that my multiplier was also 1.0? Because you can change your multiplier up. Like you can actually increase your multiplier, which is another concept. Basically, the multiplier allows you to either make more money per trade or lose more money per trade, if you're okay to kind of um, in fact, I'll show you what that is. One of the things you can do is you can simulate these copy traders. So like if you wanted to put $10,000 on this, um, you could simulate this. So what I could do down here is I could put my multiplier, which is this right here, to 1.0. And that just means that I'm taking the same trades that this guy takes. Not the same lot size, it's just proportional to whatever my account is. So if my account size is 30 times smaller, which it is, then I'm going to be taking the same trade, but with a lot size 30 times smaller. That's all it is. If I increase this to 2.0, that means I'm taking the same trade. Let's say I have a $10,000 account, but my multipier's at 2. It's as if I'm taking the trades on a $20,000 account. So I'm increasing the risk that I'm taking per trade in order to get a bigger return. So this is kind of a touchy subject because multipliers, if you increase the multiplier, um, you can obviously potentially make more money, but you run into two issues when you increase multiplier. One is that your drawdowns when things go south will be much bigger, depending on how much you increase the multiplier. And secondly, uh, the leverage could become an issue. So if this is a copy trader that requires a lot of leverage, which you'd have to kind of determine, you'd have to do kind of an eye test when you go and look at the account history. And you'd have to ask yourself, would you have the leverage, a capability to stay up with those kinds of trades? Then you'd have to say, okay, is my multiplier at a good spot? Because it may not be, right? I've actually had some copy traders in the past where I've actually decreased the multiplier below 1.0. So if I'm okay with a smaller return because I want a smaller drawdown, then that's good. What's cool about this is like if you put this, let's put this back to 1.0, this will tell me, okay, so if I were to take these trades over the last year, these are hypothetical results, you would expect to make about $488 a month or 4.88% per month. The worst drawdown you'd experience over the last year, these are again hypothetical, would be about $1,400, just shy of $1,400. That's this number right here. Okay, so if you're like, oh, that's no big deal, and I'd like to make more money, then that's where you could be like, okay, I'll increase the multiplier. But again, past results don't necessarily indicate future results. So I wouldn't put all your stock into that, but it's just a concept. It's an idea that, okay, if past results do continue to be about the same, then assuming that you could increase this multiplier to a level that makes more sense with the drawdown that you're acceptable with. So if, I personally will go up to about a 20%. I think I'm actually using these guys at a 1.3 multiplier personally. I'm not recommending that. I'm just telling you that I, I I'm currently using this one at a 1.3 multiplier. That's kind of my comfort spot right now. Um, and I've been okay with that. That's worked well for me. But if this copy trader started to lose money and we went below the 20% drawdown, then I'd probably bring that back down to 1.0 or even less. So, but 1.3. So right now, the hypothetical is for every $10,000 I've invested, I should expect to make about $634 a month on this copy trader, which is really cool. Okay, so that's just a simulation. And this is kind of nice because you can save your simulations, you can come back and you can play around with this to kind of see how you would perform if you were to use this kind of copy trader. Okay, so the last few minutes, I do want to go over to MQL5. I want to show you how to use this, but let me answer some of your guys' questions first. I think we're making good time, so this is good. Um, okay, let's see. Sied says, sorry if I missed, but can we use this with prop firm money? And then Roger says, some very few prop firms allow, but very few and many restrictions. Yes, so some prop firms allow this. I actually know a couple of traders right now in our group that are using some of these with prop firms, and so far they're okay. But I found a secret actually around it. I'm gonna share you. I'll tell you how to do it. So there's actually okay. So like Roger said, most prop firms will not allow you to use a third party copy trader like this. So I found a way around it. But I'm not recommending this, so I'm just telling you how I found a way around it. So you can take it or leave it. Again, I'm not recommending this, but here's the way around it. So because they don't allow that, here's what you do. Because here's what happens. Let's say you get funded with one of these copy traders. Let's say you pass the challenge, you get funded. What they'll do is they'll ask you, they'll be like, okay, hey, we can see that you used the copy trader. They have a way to figure that out. And they're like, okay, prove to us that the master account belongs to you. And you won't be able to prove it because this account belongs to somebody else. So you'll be hosed and you won't get funded and you'll lose your deposit. So here's a way around this. But again, I'm not recommending this. I know several people who have done it this way and have had success, but I'm not necessarily saying you should do this. But here's the secret. If you open up your own account with your own broker, like with Awanda or Forex.com, and you deposit some money in there, and you make that the copy trader account, and then you basically have that copy trading from one of these third parties, then what you do is you designate the prop firm account to copy trade from the account you just opened up with Awanda. That way, if the prop firm requests confirmation that that account belongs to you, you can be like, "Yep, here it is. I copy traded from my own account. Here it is. It's with Awanda. Here's the trades. You can check it out." Like that. That's a way around it. So it's a little bit of a sideways approach. I know several people who have done that and had success. It's just something that, yeah, it's like it's a loophole. That's what it is. It's a loophole. So do it at your own risk if you want to do that. But I wouldn't necessarily, because again, it's like not every robot's going to pass anyways because you've got the drawdown rules and you have to make sure that you fit within the mold of the prop firm. So there's always that risk, and then there's the risk of, what if they caught you doing something like that, which I don't know how they would if you were doing it through your own account. So you basically have your personal account, copy trade from the third party, and then you have the prop firm account, copy trade from your personal account. Boom. You got around the rule. So anyway, that's up to you if you want to do that, but you didn't hear that from me. Right? Well, you did, but I'm not recommending it. So I've said that like 10 times now. All right, cool. So let me show you guys how to use MQL5. So this is another place you can get or shop around for. You can shop around for different copy traders. I don't really like these guys as much. I guess that's why I saved it for last because I showed you the cooler place first. I don't have as many functional things here. You have to dig in a little bit more. Like it takes more time to find good copy traders with MQL5. Okay, it just takes more time. Um, However, there's a lot more copy traders here. So you don't have as many search functions, so you have to comb through a lot of junk to find what you're looking for. But let me show you some quick things that you can do to comb through. So I click this button right here to get a list view, and then it's going to give me their rankings. So they have, like I said, almost 4 or 5,000 different copy traders. What I've done is I'll come in here and you can filter by their number one, like this is their number one signal or copy trader, I guess. It's these guys. And they charge $40 a month. They've made a 4,800% return. They have 84 subscribers. They have $710,000 under management. But here's the problem. They only have they have 1,000 euros basically on as their actual account. So this $1,000 euro account is commanding $710,000 of capital. Okay, so you basically have this little pipsqueak right here, telling this guy this behemoth amount of money what's supposed to happen. And then when you look at other metrics, and I've often seen these kind of fall out of love. So like they'll do well for a time, they'll make some people money, and they eventually blow up. And you can already see this guy's already had a pretty big drawdown at 35%, which is kind of big. He's been around for 85 weeks, so that's not too bad. But still, this has me nervous. Like, why would you, why would you put $1,000 on something? Like, if it's that good, why don't you put more money into it? See, that's the kind of stuff I look for, right? So another thing you can do is filter. So this is their default filter is just by how they rank them. I'm not sure how they do it, but you can filter by funds under management. So this one right here. And like this one has $1.8 million. Okay, this is crazy. Look at this one. So this one has $1.8 million under management, but it's only a it's a $500 account trading $1.8 million. It's absurd. That's absurdity to me, right? So like I won't, even though like the numbers look good and obviously people like it, um, and I guess it's been doing okay. I still wouldn't use it like personally because I put five to $20,000 on each copy trader. And so if this guy's putting only $500 in, like that's not enough. So you can filter by balance right here. So I can filter this. This again, you have to check what currency they're in. I don't know what IDR is. I don't know what it is. So you have to check to make sure, it's a currency pair or a currency that's worth, who knows what 198 million IDR is. Plus, it looks like the results are terrible. Um, is that rupee, Vincent? Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Um, so then, yeah, rupee. Okay, yeah. So and plus the results are terrible here, as you can see. So and you can kind of see generally what their equity curve is over here. If you scroll down, you can see like some bigger numbers. The first USD one is right here. So this guy actually does have a $1.5 million account, and that is USD, so that's good. And he's made an 187% return. He's been around for about 2 years, a little over 2 years, 110 weeks, 12% drawdown. So that that like enough for me right there. I'd be like, okay, let me click into this and let's like look under the hood a little bit more. And you look under the hood and try to get some more information about like how is this account being traded. Look more into drawdown stuff. Let's see. You could look at their trading history and be like, okay, let's see, what's their um oh wow, this guy is taking huge trades. Yeah, these are big, massive trades. Because the commission on some of these trades is just $86 per trade. Okay, so they're trading kind of like a consistent lot size from what I can see here, and they're mostly just trading gold and the dollar yen. So you'd have to make sure that, so that's another thing you got to check to make sure is that this is absolutely are these currency pairs that are tradable with your broker, right? So anyway, there's one you could look into. This guy only charges $30 a month. Can you go back and then, so when I'm looking through MQL5, I usually look by how much money is under management, and I'll usually just look at the ones with actual USD. So this one right here, this is Heroes Composto is the name of it. He has $743,000 in his account. Um, and he has $110,000 under management. So that's healthy. Like that's good. He's put a lot of his own money in and he's got other people putting money in too. So that's really, really good. Um, and he's been around for almost 2 years. So that's another one you'd probably want to click on and be like, okay, let's look into this. What is this guy doing? And then you could kind of see, what is it that um, what is it that they're trading, and you can look at their other details. So we don't have time to look at each one. I'm just trying to show you where to go and look for this stuff. So you could look at trading history and you'd be like, okay, took a bunch of USD CAD trades recently, euro dollar trades. So you'd be probably good. Like if you have a Forex broker account, you'd be good, unless I don't know if he trades gold, but if he does, it just won't take those trades. So, but this is fun. So you can look into this. This is not as nice as, like I said, I like the signal start look a little bit better when I'm evaluating, like when I come here to evaluate different, like right here, when I evaluate different ones, I like signal start a little bit more. Plus I can save the different copy traders that I like, and then I'll kind of jump into the ones, from here. And I've also noticed some of these guys, like Pine Rock, the one we looked at here on Signal Start, he's also over here on, um, he's actually over here on MQL5. You just have to search for him. Let me see if I can do that real quick, actually. Let me see if I can search Pine Rock. Let's see if he shows up. Let's search by MT4 though. Oh, I don't know what server though. I guess he's not showing up right here. So anyway, I'll have to, but I have seen him here before. I guess I'm just not searching this correctly. It's kind of finicky on the MQL5 side, but you can indeed search here. So anyway, that's how you search here. If you guys ever want to do this with me on like a one-on-one call, I'd be more than happy to look at these. Plus, if you find one that you like and you want me to look at, I'd be more than happy to look at it for you to kind of get, put my eyes on it, and I'll look at their account history and the kind of things that I would look forward to. And then the other thing I was going to say is just I would probably use this metrics I put together for you guys as well. Um, I can share this with you guys. Maybe I'll put this in the Telegram, and you guys can follow this along here when you're evaluating different copy traders. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to give us a 5-minute break. We do have caught report right after this. So for those of you that want to come to that, that will be in about 5 minutes. But this is this is recorded. So if you guys want to come back and watch the rest of this webinar, it will be up in about 30 minutes to an hour. Come back and watch it. And then another thing I wanted to also just ask you guys, if you guys find in the next month, because we do this webinar once a month, if you guys find copy traders you want me to evaluate, just like we do with the prop firms, send them to me so I can add them to the slideshow for next month, and then we'll evaluate those different copy traders as a group. Okay, so definitely send those to me, and then we can do that together next month. Yes, it should be. The recording from this morning should be up, but if it's not, I'll put it up right now. So thanks for letting me know. All right, guys. Well, sounds good. Well, I'll see you guys. If some of you I'll see in a few minutes for the COT report. If not, then enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks for coming, and we'll see you guys in the next webinar.